I used to get hurt a lot as a kid. I've never broken a bone before, but I found other ways to hurt myself. Like falling. I would just fall as a kid. One second I'm running playing tag, the next I'm face down in the grass. I also fell off my bike. I was very bad at riding my bike. It was a painful time. But it's okay, it's pretty much a rite of passage to hurt yourself in a stupid way as a child. When I was younger, my parents always used to complain about how my neighbors would climb the trees in front of our houses, and how dangerous it was, and blah blah blah. I didn't really pay attention to what they said, because I just thought it was cool. One day I was walking around my backyard, and realized there was a branch low enough that my 4.5-foot self could reach. Yeah, I'm gonna climb that. I pulled myself up and held onto a thin branch overhead. I decided to walk further out onto the branch while telling myself, keep going, you can do it. But it turns out I couldn't do it, and the branch I was holding onto snapped. I fell like 8 feet directly onto the ground. And in that moment, I didn't care that I just fell out of a heckin' tree. I was so scared that my parents were gonna be mad at me for climbing said tree. I could have broken my legs, but I was scared I was going to have to sit in the timeout corner for 15 minutes. You never saw me fall, Mom! You can't punish me! There was another time when I was making pancakes for my mom because it was Mother's Day and I'm an incredible kid. Nothing could go wrong, right? Wrong. Never underestimate my ability to be a complete idiot. As I was cooking, I somehow bumped the handle of the pan I was using and it started to fall. In those seconds, as it was tipping off the stove, I thought of the quickest way to keep it from hitting the ground. So, I decided to put my hand onto the face of the pan to push it up. However, I overlooked one important detail. Fire is hot, pan is on fire, therefore, pan is hot. 1 second my mom looks over and I'm busy being the best child ever. The next I'm practically on the floor screaming because I just burned my hand off. And hey, did you know that when you burn yourself, it continues to hurt for the rest of the day? Because I do! One day I was walking with my mom while I was wearing Crocs, and I realized we were coming up to my friend's house. I look over and we make eye contact. No. But because I was a little punk child, I run up to her house anyways. I knock on the door and her dad answers, because of course she wasn't there. So I thanked him and turned back to my mom. As I'm running back, I feel my ankle give out from under me. Who knew Crocs were bad to run in? I knew my friend's dad was still watching me, so I kept my composure and walked very gracefully back to my mom. Now let me paint a picture of my pain for you. It felt like someone was constantly kicking my ankle. No, that would have felt better than the pain I was feeling, which is truly a delightful experience. I'm probably over-exaggerating because I was a kid, but trust me, it hurt. We got back to the house and my mom put ice on my ankle and said, I'm sure it'll feel better tomorrow. Then tomorrow came. And it sure as heck didn't feel better. So I was stumbling around school now too. Amazing. I went down to the nurse and she was all like, oh, it's fine, just put some ice on it and head back to class. Does anyone else's nurse do this? Oh, you stubbed your toe? Put some ice on it. Oh, someone punched you? Put some ice on it. Oh, you got stabbed? Put some ice on it. Ice fixes everything. So I had to go around the rest of the school day with a bag of ice taped to my ankle. I went home and the same thing happened. Pain, mom, ice. It'll feel better tomorrow. And guess what happened when tomorrow came? Both your mom and the nurse were right and your ankle was fixed and never hurt again? Nope! Actually, the complete opposite. It was worse than the other 2 days. Now, it felt like 2 people were kicking my ankle. Just perfect. And I still had school today. Just perfect! When I got to school, I dragged myself and my pathetic ankle down to the nurse. And I told her that my ankle hurt. She looked me dead in the eyes and said, that's what you said yesterday, Katie. Now what the diddly dang frick frack do you mean by that? Did she think my ankle couldn't hurt 2 days in a row? Did she give me magic ice? Did the ice normally fix things? 'Cause from what I've heard, it doesn't. She did end up taping another bag of ice to my ankle. Yes, because maybe it will work the second time. When I got home, my mom finally saw what a mess I was and asked, do you want me to make a doctor's appointment? The next day, I woke up with pain. Who was surprised? I went to school, and as I was going to the nurse, I gave myself a pep talk. Okay, today's the last day of dragging your ankle around. Maybe the ice will magically work today. If it doesn't, you have a doctor's appointment. You got this. Why are you talking in third person? I opened the door, and it was a substitute nurse. I told her about my ankle, and she took one look at it before saying, "Wow, that's really swollen. Why didn't you come down to the nurse yesterday?" So she wrapped my ankle, and I stood up, and it was the best my ankle had felt in my entire life. Shout out to whatever nurse wrapped my ankle. You are officially my favorite elementary school nurse. You are number 1 out of 2. After school, my mom took me to the doctors, and they asked me how I hurt my ankle. And I don't want to be the one to say it, because it's really sad. Turns out I had sprained my ankle and shouldn't have been walking on it for the past 3 days. Nice. I just chilled the whole weekend and got to get out of class 5 minutes early. But they never gave me an elevator key. Please, I've never used the school elevator before. And the rest is history. I have officially graduated to a professional human, and now I only hurt myself sometimes.